What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Captain's Cove. We've been away on hiatus for a little bit, but now we are back, and with me is a person whose name I can never say. I always say Electric, but it's Elu.
Electric.
Yeah, I don't know. Electric? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a lot better with an Australian accent, but I'm joined by Electric, who is an Aussie, and we're talking about apocalypse movies, which is funny because some of the most known apocalypse movies are probably the Mad Max series, which is set in Australia. I've just started a series on the Mad Max game, which is set in Australia, and now I have an Australian with me. I think I might have planned this a little bit too well.
Planned ahead.
Oh yeah, I was thinking, do you know what? I know that Electric game. We're talking about doing a podcast. Maybe I should start playing Mad Max. And then Mad Max comes out free on the PS4, and I'm like, oh, well, isn't that just the universe doing something right there? Well, that was just freaky.
Oh yeah. Like little freaky stuff going on, telling you that you definitely need an Australian on your show.
Well, the Australian accent is just delicious. So everybody needs. Hey, you always need an Australian around. It's like the Irish or the Scots, or if you're weird, Liverpool. I don't know why, but people like the Liverpudlian accent. But I told you to brush up on your apocalypse movies, so you told me you did. What did you end up watching?
I watched a ton. Well, for starters, Mad Max. How can you not think about Apocalypse and not watch Mad Max?
That is true.
Things like Terminator, a little robot action in there. Yeah. Deep Impact, that was a classic. I loved that.
See, now, you've watched, and I was going to go like way back into like the original Day of the Earth Stood Still and all that kind of stuff. But I realized the people who watch this and listen to this podcast will probably have no fucking idea that Keanu Reeves wasn't in the first ever version of that. And the fact that Deep Impact, yeah, I agree with you. Deep Impact was a good one. That was like, the world's going to end. Let's try and do something about it. And then they don't. It's just like that is a movie where there is no happy ending. So it's like one of my favorite ones. But it's just weird. But I think, I don't know. Right, I've got the Mad Max, which is Mad Max 1 and 2 and Fury Road. We don't talk about the other ones, like Beyond the Thunderdome or whatever it's called. We don't talk about that one. I'd have to go Judge Dredd. Most people don't think it's an apocalypse movie, but the Sylvester Stallone but all of the Judge Dredds is technically an apocalypse movie. Like, it's been nuked, the world's been nuked, so they built mega cities and stuff. Independence Day is not really an apocalypse movie, but it's more of a prevention of an apocalypse movie, so I kind of like that. That's a good one. But my all-time favourite one, and which ended up getting me into a series of games and getting me a nickname, is Escape from New York.
Yes. No, I know what one you're talking about. I haven't seen that for ages.
If nobody has an idea who's listening what Escape from New York is, it's basically where Hideo Kojima got his idea for the name of Snake, because it's Kurt Russell playing a guy called Snake Plissken who is sent into a war-torn prison colony in New York. They've turned the entirety of New York into a prison colony, and the president's plane has been shot down, and he has to go in and get him, and it's just the cheesiest thing you can possibly ever see, unless you watch the one after that, which is called Escape from LA, where he straight up surfs down a nuclear apocalypse trench run just to catch up to Steve Buscemi. These movies make no sense, but they are just like pure beautiful, just all crammed in there, and they're absolutely delicious. But yeah, no, watching Escape from New York got me into the Metal Gear series, which eventually got me the name Boss, which was just the weirdest fucking series of coincidences that's ever happened. But I also have a list of apocalypse movies here, man, of which I had no idea we had this, like, apocalypse movies I had no idea there was this many. I mean, just in 1990 to 1990 alone, which is on this list I've got, there's like 20, maybe more. And we've got, like, Armageddon with Bruce Willis, Deep Impact, Dogma. Do you remember Dogma?
Oh, yeah. That's one of my classic favorites.
That's not an apocalypse movie.
Two guys come from heaven. You know, it's not really an apocalypse story.
Well, no, it's like it's Matt Damon and Ben Affleck are angels, and then Jay and Silent Bob beat the shit out. That's it. That's not an apocalypse movie. What is this? We've got Escape from LA, Independence Day, Judge Dredd, Last Night, The Matrix. People don't seem to. This is right. This is really weird. People don't get that The Matrix is an apocalypse movie. Because they watch the first one and they're like, "Oh, this is good." Then they watch the second one and they're like, and they never watch the third one because you just don't want to watch the third one.
The third one.
But it's like, it's explained that we blew up the sky and shit to stop an AI from being solar powered. So it was like, do you know what? I'm going to be human powered now. And you're like, all right, that's a bit. Calm down with that weird, creepy storytelling. And then, like, in the last one, it's just like, let's go to Machine City. And it's like, what? What are you talking about? No, just put him back in the Matrix, making kung fu and beating up people. Don't be like, oh my god, I can stop robots and I'm blind. God, that movie sucked.
Yeah, hey, trippy as hell.
Oh yeah, dude. Like, if anybody out there is a drug user, and I'm talking like recreational drug user, not like let's go and inject some ketamine. If you're like a weedy kind of guy, smoke a shit ton of weed and then go watch the final Matrix movie, and you can thank me tomorrow. Or drop some acid. Fucking Jesus Christ. It's nuts.
Disclaimer.
Oh, yes, disclaimer. Don't actually do drugs. Drugs are bad for you. Apart from weed, weed's actually not that bad for you. And dropping acid every now and then can make your life just that little bit better. But stay away from hard drugs like cocaine and heroin and all that kind of bad stuff that you can only get in hospitals. Yeah. Stay away from that shit that makes your teeth fall out and your eyes burn. But there's a movie here that I think is one of the very few movies that have ever made me cry. And it's probably going to be the stupidest fucking suggestion ever, but it's The Postman.
Postman?
Have you never seen The Postman?
Oh, I don't know.
The Postman, right, is basically... there's a guy going around, played by Kevin Costner, right, and he's just going around with his donkey, and he gets kidnapped by a bunch of rednecks, which... It's probably the weirdest thing to say, but basically there's like a huge redneck army, or I should say an army of the South. But yeah, and he gets kidnapped. They kill his donkey, and he escapes because they try to force him to be a warrior, but he escapes. And this is all set in an apocalypse, which is like I don't understand. There was like a civil war or something, and he like rolls down a cliff and finds a postman truck with a dead postman inside. He puts on the uniform, and then he goes around places delivering mail, and through this entire process, fucking brings back America.
Wait, what?
Yes. A dude who's just trying to stay on his own and like survive the apocalypse becomes a postman so he can get some food for his own selfish reasons, delivers a little bit of post, recreates the postal service, and somehow brings back America.
What a legend.
Yep. It's just like the entire America it's just America in this movie. I'm pretty sure it actually comes from a book called The Postman, but I'm pretty sure it's only America in this movie that fucked themselves over with like a civil war, like the South versus the North again. And there's no presidency, there's no Congress, there's none of that shit. There's just like towns all living on their own. And out of fucking nowhere, it's just like, oh yeah, no, the postal service is back up, which means. Well, actually, technically, it means nothing. It's just we're delivering post again. It's like, at no point would someone go, do you know what? America's about to fail. Quick, set up that emergency like broadcast system to only the postman can save us. Delivering mail will bring us back from the brink of No, right? None of this would happen in a movie. And it's really funny because Tom Petty's in the fucking movie. The guy who sang Free Falling is in this movie. God. It's just, what? It like... out of nowhere, it just came out of nowhere. But I'm looking at the synopsis for this thing, and it's just really stupid. Because
one of those movies you just need to watch because it's stupid.
But it's like I'm thinking it's a civil war, but it says 15 years after an unspecified apocalyptic event that left a huge impact on human civilization and erased most technology. I'm like, what? There's no nuclear fallout or unspecified. There's no nuclear fallout or anything. Like what was it? A Twinkie apocalypse? The nuclear Twinkies went off.
Shit, we've ran out of Twinkies. Yeah. Everyone panic.
But it's actually a really good like Kevin Costner movie. A lot of people die in it though.
That's one that I'll need to watch. I don't think I've ever seen it.
Oh, there's a bunch of them. I mean, there's some I've never heard of, like the Omega Code, the Prophecy, the Rapture. All these are just Waterworld. That's another Kevin Costner. You ever seen Waterworld?
Waterworld, not.
You've never seen Waterworld?
I don't think so. No.
It's basically just Kevin Costner on a boat for like 2 hours.
Yeah,
it's great.
That's the dream right there. That's the dream.
Oh, you've got no idea, man. I always wanted to. Do you know, I was sat at home one day and I just thought, do you know what would be the greatest fucking thing ever? We've seen Kevin Costner restore fucking America with a postman's uniform. Now I want to see him on a fucking boat. And do you know what? Just to make it a little bit weird, I want him to have gills so he can swim underwater and webbed feet. And that's exactly what happens in this fucking movie. It's Mad Max on water. Serious? It's Mad Max on water, dude. Way. It's like the bad guy in it owns an oil tanker full of oil. And he goes around harassing people, and this is the crazy thing. People survived the ice caps melting and like the water levels rising by building like cities that float and stuff, and they're just dotted all over the place. And the bad guy in it really has no motivation to do anything. He's just sitting on an oil tanker, and at one point, a little girl has a map on her back to dry land, and he's like, oh, fucking, let's throw everything behind this. And then Kevin Costner turns up, and it turns out that the dry land is actually like the top bit of Mount Everest, which now has a beach.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, just out of nowhere, just Mount Everest. You know, the water levels rose, so obviously Mount Everest no longer became a really cold mountain. It became like a well, actually, it grows palm trees, so I don't know what the fuck happened there, because, you know, I don't think if the water levels were to rise, Mount Everest would suddenly go, do you know what, all these palm tree seeds I've been holding on to, I'm going to plant them for a bit.
I'm pretty sure whoever made that was on drugs.
Probably. I mean, it makes no sense. Like, and the funny thing is, right, there's a bit in the movie where he's like, oh, I've seen dry land. And she's like, what are you talking about? Dry land's impossible to find. And he's like, oh, no, watch this. So because he's got gills, he can swim underwater and shit. And he takes this woman in this bubble, like down, and he's like right above New York or something. He's above a city with a submarine that's crashed into the side of a building, all this kind of stuff. And he's like, look, dirt, it's just right below us. And I'm like, right, just get a bunch of that dirt, just keep digging it up, because we do it right now. They did it in Dubai, you know, those little like sand sculptures that are islands with hotels on them. Yeah. All they did was pour sand into the ocean. So all you have to do is just keep digging up a bunch of that dirt and throwing it in one spot, and there you go. Eventually, there'll be a mound big enough for you to live on and grow food and shit. Or just fuck it, just kill everyone and be the last person on the earth and go live on Mount Everest that has palm trees.
Hold on, the life.
It's just freaky. I mean, there's a guy who holds onto a piece of paper thinking it's gonna oh my god, paper. People haven't seen paper in ages. It's like, what? It's just the stupidest coincidence. Like, you'd expect every boat. I mean, the one thing that gets me, like I mentioned, there's a submarine in the side of a building. How the fuck did a submarine crash into the side of a building? It goes underwater. I mean, if a magic tsunami was going to happen, yeah, it'd be tossed around a bit, but it wouldn't be flung through the fucking air. It's a submarine. It goes under the water. It's not really affected by currents that much.
That's where you'd expect the survivors to be.
Yeah, but no. Oh no, submarine fucked. Fucking boats fucked. Oil tanker's the only thing that survived, and a plane, which and a guy
somehow an oil tanker that's higher than Mount Everest.
An oil tanker that's heavier than most boats is like, do you know what? Massive tsunami's coming. Nah, I'm going to drive right through that thing, and then I'm going to become the bad guy's boat like 30 years down the line. It's like, what is this? Kevin Costner movies make no sense.
No. They sound good, though.
They do. It's basically, most of the movies in today's podcast are something you want to watch while tripping on something. Seriously. Like, there's just some... I mean, we kind of lost... I've talked about movies before and, like, how movies are changing, but, like, just from those movies we've mentioned, I mean, you know, fucking Dogma and shit, and just a bunch of other ones. We've changed massively in the way we make movies, because I'm now looking into the 2000 to 2009 section, and the first thing the first one on the list is just simply the letter. Sorry, not the letter. The number 9.
No, 9. Yeah.
No, just 9. I've never heard of a movie just called 9. Oh shit! No, I have heard of the movie 9, but over here it was called The 9, and it's the one where Elijah Wood plays that weird Sackboy thing.
Yes, that's the one that I've seen.
Yeah. Over here it was The 9. It wasn't just 9.
Yeah, I think we had it as 9 here.
Yeah, we also got 20 Years After, which I don't know if that's a 28 days later thing. No, 20 Years After is an American post-apocalyptic film in North Alabama and Southern Tennessee. It's just a low-budget thing. That's boring. Well, this thing's like, 28 days later, zombie apocalypse, 28 weeks later, zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
AI, artificial intelligence. I don't really remember that one. It's a Steven Spielberg movie, though.
Oh.
Yeah, Xeon Flux. Jesus Christ. Babylon AD. Some of these I remember. Children of Men. That one was a weird one.
Yeah.
Children of Men is like, oh yeah, everybody just became infertile. And I'm like, right. Sperm banks hold on to sperm for like decades. Could you not just impregnate women? What? Like, I'm pretty sure there is a bloke somewhere who was just spunked into a jar for like 30 fucking years and preserved it. Just in case Children of Men happened.
Time to unfreeze.
Yeah. Fucking come on. I mean, Children of Men, oh yeah, everybody, and it's only the guys. I'm pretty sure it's only the guys who go infertile. I really can't remember. I'm pretty sure the entire premise is all guys go infertile because of some sort of weird thing that happens. Yeah. I'm reading, the film takes place in 2027, where 2 decades of human infertility has left the society on the brink of collapse. How?
Don't we already have, like...
Well, the thing is, right...
we can biologically make babies now without a woman.
Oh, yeah,
right?
fucking, we could just clone... we could just take a cell from one person and a cell from another and clone the fuckers. But it's like... But
so 2027.
It's
Come on.
2 decades of infertility, right? And at the minute, we're having problems with, like, food and stuff for other countries and shit. I'm pretty sure after 2 decades, everybody who was old enough to die off would severely decrease the population to the point where it wasn't that bad. So how is society on the brink of collapse?
Yeah.
2 decades of people, not getting pregnant. So 1, airplane rides are just fucking great because you don't have to deal with crying babies anymore. That's just perfect. At no point is it specified that, oh yeah, no, the human infertility somehow went onto crops and we can't grow food anymore. None of that happened. It's just illegal immigrants seek sanctuary in the United Kingdom. Well, fucking, they're doing that right now. Where the last where the last functioning government imposes oppressive immigration laws on refugees. Right. So this movie was made in 2006. It's based on a book from 1992. I really think they are predicting the future here because UK government having like massive oppressive immigration laws kind of sounds like stuff that's happening recently. And I try not to get too political, and I don't understand my fucking government system, but fucking everybody's just complaining about immigrants. So I don't see how... I also don't see how England is the last functioning fucking government.
Yes.
How?
I was going to say.
I mean, if I was to think, in an apocalypse, let's I'll run a scenario by you and I want to hear you. So let's say an apocalypse of, I don't know, fuck it, we'll take the Children of Men one. Everybody's been infertile for a decade, right? And somehow governments have collapsed because without the ability to fucking give birth to stuff, just the government shuts down, apparently. So
we're not producing babies.
It's just like people do, like the president's just like, we can't have babies anymore, and then blows his head out or something. I don't know, fucking government nukes the government or whatever. Just we can't live on this planet or whatever. So that happens. Who do you think would be surviving? Like, what governments what countries would still be up and running? Because apparently, according to the movie, United Kingdom is one of the last functioning the last functioning government, not one of the fucking England is the only country left on the planet. So, fucking in an actual apocalypse like that, who do you think would still be a running government?
I'd gotta say China. I mean, they already pretty much culled their population already.
All right, China. Yeah, I could see that. I'm thinking. Do you know what? I actually don't think the UK would survive. Well, yeah, actually, we'd kind of survive. We'd probably go back to like the Queen ruling shit instead of a parliament. Like the Queen would just take over or some shit because everybody would be like, "Oh my god, we can't have kids or whatever." So fucking apparently we just have to go nuts. I think America might have some sort of like a civil war for resources or something. So maybe they'd be fucked. Australia,
they destroy themselves.
yeah, Australia just wouldn't give a shit.
No, we're over here. We don't really
I think you guys are just like, no, babies, fucking too right.
Yeah, without the UK and America, I'm pretty sure our government would be sitting there twiddling their thumbs.
Well, yeah, because I'm pretty sure we still just jump into your government every now and then going, hang on a second, do you mind not doing that? And you're like, all right. And it's like, also, put the Queen on your money. Just for no fucking reason. Australian money has got the English Queen on it. Reasons? No.
Kids growing up. Who's this lady on the back of the coin? Oh, well, she's from a faraway land.
she's from a country that actually created our country by sending a bunch of prisoners here and turning it into fucking a penal colony, and then for no reason whatsoever didn't bother doing anything with it and just let it become its own fucking country, which is why everybody in Australia is nuts. Off you go.
Let's forget about that. I'm sure they'll die out.
Yeah, it's like put all the bad people from England just on that one island half a world away, and then just leave it. I'm pretty sure they'll die at some point. It's like there's no point that anybody could possibly survive on that. I mean, have you seen the snakes? The snakes alone would fucking murder everybody, and then like 20, 30 years later, fucking Australia's a country now, and you're just like, oh well, fuck. What are we gonna do with that? I don't know. Conquer them again? All right. Sail off. All right, we fucking put you here. We're conquering you.
You have to listen to us and put our queen on your coin.
Yeah,
that's our rules.
She's still technically your queen because even though you've created your own fucking country, you're all English still, you bastards.
Yeah.
Fucking some of the country, like some of the apocalyptic scenarios that are like, oh yeah, countries are wiped out. No, like that would fucking infertility has caused every government apart from England to fucking collapse. It's like, no, that wouldn't happen. Come on, be reasonable.
I seriously don't see a single government that has someone under the age of 30 in the government.
Well, the thing is, right, even if infertility had gone on for 2 decades, you've still got right, all the babies from when the shit began, so like the last ever baby, to like fucking the 60-year-olds now, and it's only 2 decades, so that's 20 years. So all the babies are now 20 and in the prime of fucking, right? And everybody else who was old enough to just die off are all dead. So really, the only people still alive are like the 20 to maybe the 80-year-olds. And the 80s are just fucking retiring or whatever. The 20-year-olds are probably just realizing, wait a minute, we can fuck and we don't have to deal with the consequences of babies. Let's just go and like a massive orgy would erupt somewhere. And then and then fucking in the movie, when the person has the first fucking baby again, all those 20-year-olds are going, fuck. And then, like, that is when the fucking world ends. When somehow,
child support.
Yeah, no, when the fucking apocalypse ends and like we can have babies again. Oh shit, we just had a massive orgy with like 2 million people, and I'm pretty sure I fucked about 150 of them. How many of them are going to get pregnant? All of them. Well, fuck. And then nuke everything.
Deal with the next apocalypse, the increase
the baby
of
apocalypse. See, that's not something mentioned in the Children of Men movie. If like sex still transmits shit. I mean, like maybe did that all die out as well? Because that'd be a great. I think in that apocalypse, Playboy mansions would pop up all over the place. Just come on, pay some money and sleep with people with absolutely no consequences whatsoever. It's just like, excuse me, did you say no consequences whatsoever? Here's my firstborn child. I will sell this child so I can sleep with everybody else. All right, come on in, be the new Hugh Hefner, and then prostitution would be fucking skyrocketing because nobody gets pregnant. Fucking porn would be great because everybody would be just shagging everyone. Yeah. Fucking Children of Men has got a stupid backstory. Like, oh, you know, everybody's went infertile. All right, any reason why? No. Are we going to do anything about it? No. We've cloned a sheep, you know. Really? Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Want to try that on a guy? No.
Want to fuck it?
Want to fuck it? No. That's in the Welsh version of Children of Men. Fucking and I want to fucking clear this up right now. Scottish people do not shag sheep. It's the Welsh. There we go. Everybody fucking says, oh, it's the Scots that shag sheep. No, it's the Scots that are violent, drunk, racists. That's what happened when Mel Gibson fucking went and did Braveheart or whatever. He went from being an Aussie to a fucking Scottish person in like that because he became a drunk, alcoholic, wife-beating racist. That's how you become Scottish. It's the Welsh people that shag sheep. So in the Welsh version of Children of Men, nobody's having children. Fucking the world has come to an end. And he goes, you know, we clone that sheep, yeah. And he's like, yeah. We could clone it again. Why? So we can fuck it. And he's like, all right. and then it goes from an apocalypse movie to like a bestiality movie. And you just like, you sat in the cinema going, what? What?
Did I miss a cue?
Wait a minute. How does fucking sheep save the world? It doesn't. Have you just made this to make? Have you just come up with this entire movie just to call Welsh people sheep shaggers? Yeah. All right. Here's my money. I'm eating all the popcorn. Fucking Jesus Christ.
Blockbuster hit.
Blockbuster hit. Children of Sheep. There we go. Fucking Jesus Christ. Children of Men. Stupid fucking whatever. Do you remember a movie called The Core?
Oh, yes.
Where they build, basically they just build a giant mining train with technology that doesn't even fucking exist now.
Yeah. Yo.
Wait a minute, I've just realised this was a podcast about us talking about apocalypse movies, and it's become a podcast talking about apocalypse movies that have stupid fucking plots.
Yeah.
Okay.
Most of the apocalypse movies have stupid plots?
Well, let's think. Most apocalypse movies are normally zombie movies, so
yeah,
I wouldn't say stupid plot.
Most of them are normally just don't even cover the fact of how did the entire world get infected.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like in a zombie apocalypse, it's like, you know, one person bites another, and then shit just fucks up. Come to think of it now, I don't think I've ever seen, unless there's an apocalypse movie like with zombies where a guy bites another person and then immediately they bite 2 people and then those 4 people bite 8 people, and then if it goes that way, and then like the American government, it only happened in one village in like Mexico or some shit like that, and the American government's like, right, we're just going to build a fence around it so none of them can get out. And then some fucking, it's always some fucking like, oh, zombies are people too, fucking activists who walk up and is like, zombies are people too. So like they break down the fucking fence, and then they're immediately killed by the zombie, and they're like, oh, wait a minute, I thought you were people too. I guess I fucked up. Oh, I'm just a dick. Up. Yeah, and then you can't control the fucking horde of like 1,000 or 2,000 people, apparently Mexicans in this scenario. Don't worry, I'm not racist. I'm just taking the plot of fucking the one with Frank West, the game. Oh, the zombie game with Frank West.
Is it Dead Rising?
That's it. In that, a bee stings a dude, and then he mutates into a zombie in Mexico. That's the backstory. So I've taken that backstory. Yeah, a bee, a wasp, or some shit like that. A genetically engineered wasp, and he's like, oh shit, I've been stung by a wing.
Gotta fucking cull the bees.
Well, in that movie, you can get like queen bees. Sorry, not in that movie. In that game, you can get queen bees that if you capture them, put them in a jar. If you're surrounded by zombies, you just throw it, stand on it, and it kills them all. It's really fucking weird. But like, yeah, it normally a zombie apocalypse happens because some government tries to just corral them instead of just going, oh shit, we've seen like 800 zombies movies before this. If we just put them all in a box, someone's going to fucking come across and just let them out. Maybe if we shoot them all in the head and burn all the bodies and make sure there's none of this fucking ever again, we'll survive the zombie apocalypse. And it's like, oh, that's a good idea. Let's not do that. Let's just build a big fence around them.
Opposite.
Yeah, let's do the opposite. Let's airdrop them into other countries. Really?
Do what the UK did in Australia. Put them on Australia. They'll be dead in a week.
See, right. Biggest fucking problem I have with zombie movies, when the virus isn't specified, so when it's not specified that the virus keeps the body alive or anything like that, zombie apocalypse movies would end in like 3 months.
Yeah, like the total skin decay and shit.
Yeah, well, fucking in Australia, it'd end in like a week. There'd just be a week of people in Australia just walking into the outback, right? So none of the cities are fucking populated, and then waiting for a week and coming back out and going, oh look, they're all dead. All right, and then just fucking cleaning up all the bodies and getting back to work. It's just like it's fucking. The human body takes like a month or something to like properly decay, depending on temperatures, right? And so in hot countries, it takes. I think it's a lot shorter than that. It's like 3 weeks or 2 weeks or something like that. If it's in cold fucking countries, so like if it's Russia in Siberia, the zombies are just going to freeze, and they're not going to become anything. They're just going to freeze up and like become fucking icicles. You can break them apart. But in like hot countries, you basically just have to barricade yourself in and let them rot to death. Well, I'm sorry, not rot to death because they're already dead. Just let them rot. Sure, you might.
You guys stay out there. You just kneel over in about 3 weeks. We'll get back to work.
Exactly. That's the thing. It's just fucking no zombie. Like in zombie movies, where they're like, oh yeah, no, the virus keeps the body alive. That's why they haven't fucking deteriorated yet into skeletons, so we can just walk over and clean it all up and shit. It's like, all right, okay, yeah, that's a virus that is probably like a government made. But when it's like, oh yeah, no, this zombie virus just came out of nowhere. It doesn't keep the body alive. It just turns you into zombies. It's like, all right. I'm just going to hold up in this building for like a month. I've got enough food. Do you know what? Fuck it. I'm not going to hold up in this building. I'm going to go to that supermarket over there, which is full of food and stuff and power and so great. There's generators and stuff, and I'm just going to sit in there, just barricade all the windows. It's only a zombie. You know, it's not going to punch through. It's not one of those zombies, is it? No, it's not one of the strong zombies that can run. It's one of the slow shambling zombies. All right. I'm just going to hold up in there for maybe a month or two, and then when everybody else who has been bitten has died off as well, I'm just going to come out. I'll start cleaning. I'll help out. I'll clean. I won't just like walk out and let the government finish it. I'll just come out and I'll clean it all up, and yeah, we'll be fine. He's like, that's a good plan. Why didn't we think of that? We were just going to nuke everything. Oh, really? You were going to nuke zombies that would die off in at least a month or maybe 2. Yeah, now you come to think of it, I shouldn't be running the government. Do you know what? I'm going to run the government from now on. Get out. Go on. Off you go. And it's just like, that never happens in a fucking zombie apocalypse movie. It's all, the world's fucked. Nuke everything. It's like...
We demand a good zombie apocalypse movie that lasts 3 weeks and they die.
We want a factual zombie apocalypse movie where it's like called 2 months later. It's like the 28 weeks later or whatever. It's called 2 months later. And it's just like Shaun of the Dead. It's a bunch of blokes sat in a house with a couple of crates of beer going, right, this is fucked up. What are we going to do? Let's just stay inside for a bit. It's fucking, they've got like no biological fucking like degrees or whatever. They're just going, I learned this from fucking movies and a bit of science that I've done on the internet. If we just leave the bodies to decay, we'll be perfectly fine. What about the windows and doors? Looks out, oh no, these zombies appear to be the slow shambling ones that don't actually have any strength in their bodies whatsoever. So we could just push them over if we needed to go to the shop and get some more stuff. Aye, we could do that. Alright, let's just border up the doors and the windows and crack a cold one. Sounds good to me. And then it cuts to like, it's just like a fucking instant cut to like 2 months later, and it's like, still on the couch but with like bigger beards, and they're just like, should we check if the zombie apocalypse is over? Just open the door. Yeah, no, it looks like it's over. All right, I could do with an ice cream. All right, don't shop. Just that, just completely and utterly fucking nonchalant would be great. But no, we don't get that movie. Yeah, fucking, I want to make that movie, take it to like the Cannes Film Festival and go, this is a movie set in a zombie apocalypse where actually real science happens and the zombies die out in about 2 months. Oh really? What's the name of your movie? It's called 2 Months Later. Oh really? What's it all about? It's about 2 blokes on a couch cracking some beers. Anything else? Nope. So it's not really an apocalypse movie, is it? Where's the peril? Oh, at one point they run out of beer, so they got to go to light beer. Is that it? Yeah. It's not much of a movie, is it? It's devastating. There's an entire week where they're all at each other's throat because they've only got light beer to drink. Really? No, I just thought I'd throw that in there. Anything actually happen in your movie? Yeah, 2 blokes on a couch drinking some beer for a bit. Anything else? No. It's not really going to win, is it? I don't think so. And then it immediately wins.
2 months, they get to leave.
Yeah. Does anything bad happen in your movie? Well, there's no chicks. Right. Anything else? Nah. All right. Sure. Enter it into the film festival. Then it fucking wins. It wins everything. Best screenplay, best production, best fucking. It's just like, how the fuck did it?
Standing there with a fucking Oscar.
It's like Steven Scorsese's just like there, and Steven Spielberg and shit. It's just like, how the fuck did that piece of shit win? And he goes, probably because it was factual and real, and it actually had some science behind it. Not a kid in a bike with an alien that flies across a moon. Fucking Jesus Christ! Real good movies. They are dwindling really fast. Good apocalypse movies. I mean, Zombieland. Right, you always get these rare few, and they're always fucking comedies, aren't they? Like Zombieland, Shaun of the Dead. I mean, Titan AE is not really a comedy, but whatever. Wall-E, that's not even an apocalypse movie. That's just we all got fat and threw our trash out the windows and didn't do sensible stuff with it, and fucking really Save the Green Planet. What? There's a movie here called Save the Green Planet. Oh, it's a Japanese. Oh, it's a Korean movie.
Oh.
Ooh, what's it about? It doesn't tell me. Right, okay. So, it says the basic story begins with the main character, Lee Byung-gu, kidnaps another man, convinced that the latter is an alien. Right.
I don't even know where to start.
No, I don't know. It's so like the plot. The film's main character, Byung-gu, a man who believed that aliens from Andromeda, right, okay, are about to attack Earth, and that he is the only one who can prevent them, with his childlike circus performer girlfriend. What? Okay, that's creepy. He kidnaps a powerful pharmaceutical executive whom believes to be the top-ranking extraterrestrial... What? That's not even a sentence. He kidnaps a powerful pharmaceutical executive whom he believes to be a top-ranking extraterrestrial able to contact the Andromeda Prince during the upcoming eclipse. After imprisoning the man in his basement workshop, Byung-gu proceeds to torture him. What? So basically, a crazy guy who's fucking a kid decides to kidnap a dude who makes drugs because he thinks he's an alien, and then tortures the guy. Right.
Movie of the year.
Fucking movie of the year. Let's do this. What? Some of these movies make... Some of these... Wait. There's one here called Solar Attack. What is this fucking movie? Solar Attack. Okay, where's the plot for this? While a solar probe operated by the fictional Solar and Nuclear Earth Laboratory called Snell, really, Snell, couldn't have come up with anything better than that, is obtaining data, a large CME, which is coronal mass ejection, or solar flare, gee, thanks for that, destroys the probe. A manned spacecraft called Galileo, right, is caught in the CME and destroyed. The tragedy is blamed on a bad Russian equipment. Alright, so far I'm not seeing much of an apocalypse. Alright, more coronal mass ejections knock satellites out of orbit, turning them into deadly meteors. Well, I'll have you know that if a fucking satellite falls out of orbit, it burns up. Some bits of it might survive, but it won't turn into a fucking deadly meteor. No. Right? Because normally when you're a meteor, you're something massive that hits the atmosphere and shrinks down a little bit as it, burns up and loses. But whatever. Okay, so satellites are fucking falling everywhere. Oh no. And then, right, and then this is what happens. So after those fucking satellites that are somehow made out of adamantium start falling into fucking deadly meteors, a CME hits New Zealand. Well, Peter Jackson's fucked. Destroying it and turning it into a huge mass of molten rock. What?
Gotcha.
There is no story here.
There's no.
It's fucking like more of the plot is like after a multi-millionaire Lucas Foster, played by a guy whose name is fucking well hard to pronounce, Mark Dacascos or whatever, funds a program to fight global warming. This is just a fucking Greenpeace. It's like, oh yeah, no, it's global warming, it's a big thing, right? At no point in the beginning of that thing where I read where New Zealand gets destroyed, at no point is fucking global warming involved. It's the sun firing massive ejections of solar flares at the Earth. At no point did someone go, oh, fucking greenhouse gases are causing the sun to attack us. Why? You've got me there. There's no greenhouse gases on the sun. Yeah, we're not on the sun as well. The greenhouse effect affects only the planet, you fucktard, not the sun itself. Oh, yeah, no. Oh, sorry, here's my science degree back. Fucking Jesus Christ. These movies make no sense. Like, we are literally, this is just a fucking almost 40-minute long podcast of us just taking the shit out of movies.
just ripping them apart.
I mean, we don't even, there's one here, Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines, and Terminator Salvation. We don't even need to pick them apart because they are shit in themselves.
Yeah, no.
Fucking, the Time Machine. Oh, do you remember the Time Machine? It's like a dude in Victorian England or Victoria, whatever, builds a time machine, goes into the future, and then meets the same black guy throughout time. That's like that. That's pretty much it. War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise.
That's the whole story.
That's the whole story. Like, he builds a time machine back in like a time when electricity had pretty much just been discovered. And he was like, oh fucking, I've somehow cracked the fourth and fifth dimension and shit. You know, time and fourth dimension's time and space. But whatever, I've cracked it. And he's like, I've built this in Victorian England. And he's like, all right, okay, what are you gonna do? I'm gonna go into the future and see what it's like. And he goes into the future and it's all shit. And it's like, oh my god, really? What happened? It's just like, I'm pretty sure we all nuked ourselves or whatever. And then he goes back in time a little bit, just like, it's still in the future, but back just a little bit more. And it's like, oh, the world's all hunky-dory. And that's my computer being a dick. Come here, bastard. There we go. And yeah, The Time Machine is a stupid fucking movie. It's almost as bad as War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise.
Oh no! Don't even talk. No. That's one you can rip into. And
that is one that you can just fucking go straight out. And it's like, my favorite Tom Cruise movie is Edge of Tomorrow, and do you know why?
Yeah.
Guess why?
Not because of Tom Cruise.
No, it's because Tom Cruise dies in it over and over.
All right, over and over again.
Literally,
yes.
That's the only reason I watch it. As soon as Tom Cruise stops dying, I'm like, all right, movie's over. I don't get to the end of the fucking movie. I'm like, all right, Tom Cruise is not dying anymore. All right, bye. Like, that 4-foot man not dying anymore. All right, bye. Just fucking...
Right to him. Look, I wanted Edge of Tomorrow too.
Yeah, I want Edge of Tomorrow.
Make sure he fucking dies.
I want Edge of Tomorrow too, but this time, like, it's not aliens or whatever. It's just Tom Cruise in a room who's being tortured and he gets shot continuously and he dies and he comes back and then at the end of the movie, he just dies. Right? What's the plot behind it? Oh, that is the plot. We just shoot Tom Cruise for like 2 hours. Really? Yeah, perfect. Some of these fucking... We got really bad with movies. Like, I'm now in the 2010 to 2019 section. So movies that haven't even come out yet. Ooh. And one of the first ones I see is Cockneys versus Zombies. Cockneys versus Zombies is like a Shaun of the Dead-esque thing, but it's with a bunch of Cockneys against a bunch of zombies. That's all you really need. Cockneys versus Zombies is great. It's like...
Yeah.
Book of Eli. Did you ever watch the Book of Eli?
Oh, dude, I loved the Book of Eli.
The Book of Eli makes no sense to me.
It didn't make a lot of sense, but I actually loved the Book of Eli.
Oh no, don't get me wrong. It's a good movie, but when it gets to the end, right? Yeah, nobody saw the end coming, right? Where it's like, oh, he's blind,
no.
Right?
Yeah.
Nobody saw that coming, and I'm like, right, okay, so you took an apocalypse movie and turned it into a fucking biblical movie because he's like, oh yeah, I've got a book, it's the last Bible, and I don't know why people on the fucking planet are like, oh, he's got the last Bible, let's murder him over it because he's got a Bible. Yeah. He's got a Bible. It's a fucking it's a Bible, which then we find out is in Braille. Oh no! So no one, if people fucking killed Eli and took the book and be like, well, this was a waste of time. We can't read this shit. Plus, it's a Bible. What's he gonna do? Oh yeah, good point. It's a shitty fucking Bible. It's a bunch of fictional stories about a bloke with a beard going around going, oh, bread and wine. There you go. He's like, really? Has he got any significance?
Magician.
Yeah. People would read it and go, wow, this was the greatest magician in existence. Not fucking.
They need to learn all these tricks.
Yeah. Not, oh, we're gonna bring back the Catholic faith because I'd like to point out. Even though the Catholic faith is like, oh yeah, all these other faiths are really terrible. Don't forget, you fuckers went on like 30 billion crusades and killed a bunch of people because you didn't believe those fuckers were part of your God. So don't turn around going, oh yeah, all these other ones are shit because you've got fucking blood on your hands. And it's funny because I'm a Christian.
And then they turn around and kill their own crusaders.
Yeah, you bastards. So don't go saying fucking, like, if anybody out there is a super Christian or like Catholic or whatever saying, oh yeah, no, the Book of Eli would restore the fucking world with the Bible, fuck off, would it? It'd end the fucking world. Because there'd be people going around going, oh yeah, praise fucking Jesus again. And people go, no, I want to praise Lord Xanthrax, the guy who lives in the ground. He's like, really? Have you got any proof he fucking exists? No. Have you got proof God exists? No. Let's fucking fight. Bring it on. Like, that shit. The fucking... some fucker with a Bible would find a nuclear bomb and set it off killing everybody. The last 20 years of rape and pillaging and murder, and suddenly some dude comes with a Bible and it's all hunky-dory. Yeah, fucking, it's like, oh my god, the Book of Eli is the postman, but with a black guy and a Bible. Fucking Jesus Christ. Instead of delivering post, he fucking just picks up a Bible and he's like, oh yeah, I've got to get it to like Alcatraz or San Francisco or something where the guy with the last printing press in the fucking world. And fucking shut up. Book of Eli was a stupid movie. Good to watch. Stupid movie. Jesus Christ. Like, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, that was fucking pathetic. Like, all the Planet of the Apes movies have just been pathetic.
Yeah.
I mean, Dredd, people got on Dredd, which was like the remake, which had the guy who plays Bones McCoy out of Star Trek. He played Judge Dredd in this. Dredd was a fucking awesome movie.
Yeah, no, I can agree with that. Like, I love the original, but they definitely done it really good with the remake.
Oh, yeah, I mean, at no point is he just like... He still talks to his gun, he's like, fucking give me this shot. But no longer does he have the spandex suit with a massive codpiece and, like, the giant shoulder pads. He's wearing, like, a bike suit. It makes sense.
Yeah, and, like, it's one of those movies that everyone was just like, this was awesome. We want more. And they're like, oh, look, we're not going to do more unless,
It's like, what the fuck? Like, that a lot of people were on that movie, and they, like, completely were just like, oh, this movie's shit. And then there was a lot of people like, this movie's good. We want a sequel. And they're just like, I don't think so. And it's like, why? Yeah. This was fucking Dredd was one of the best movies I've fucking seen in a long time.
Yeah. It's like they continue making all these shit X-Men movies until they sold it off. Yet you can't make another Dredd.
Fucking yeah, no, you can't make a Dredd. But if I look, let's have a look. Just stay there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 below it in the list. There is Juan of the Dead.
Wait, Juan
of the Dead. It's a fucking Juan de los Muertos. It's a fucking Spanish movie about basically the Mexican version of Shaun of the Dead. It's just for fucking what, and and then there's like fucking Dredd, and people are like, no, but like give us Juan of the Dead too. Jesus Christ. I'm sorry, The End of the World and the Cats Disappear is a Japanese apocalyptic sci-fi fictional movie based on a manga. What?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, that movie is literally called The End of the World and the Cat's Disappearance. I'm fucking gobsmacked.
Okay, so what's more important, the cat's disappearance or the end of the world?
Yeah, or did the cats disappearing cause the end of the world and all that? Like, fucking, there's nothing on the plot here. Seriously, there is nothing on this plot. Oh, right. This is the final one I want to talk about, and hopefully you've seen the trailer for this. It's not out yet, but it's an upcoming movie called A Quiet Place.
Oh, yes.
Right? People are saying that this is the most... Well, the trailer it said this is the most original take on an apocalyptic movie. One fart and you're fucked. In that movie, any kind of sound immediately draws whatever the fuck is after the people. Like, it draws them to you. So you could have eaten something that just wasn't cooked a little right, walking just a little bit ahead, and then... And everything in the fucking universe comes and gets you. You're screwed. Literally, every time I've seen this post on Twitter, like from the fucking company making the movie, and they're like, this is going to be a great, you can't make any noise. Every time that comes up, I'm literally just like, one fart and you're fucked. And then that's it. That's the only comment I leave on it. Every time I see this fucking movie, it looks absolutely stupid. But in the trailer, I want to know if that kid fucking dies. That kid has got a toy spaceship, and it makes a noise, and the dad's like, shit. Which is funny, because as soon as he turns around and starts running, he is also making noise, because that's fucking physics. But, like, at no point, like, he's about to get the kid, and the thing's going to get the kid, and then he cuts out, and I'm like, did the fucking kid die? If the kid dies, I will go watch that movie. Fucking Jesus.
As long as that fucking stupid little...
If that stupid kid fucking dies, I will give you all of my money to just watch. Even, right? If there's a version... in that movie the kid doesn't die, I will pay the fucking company all the money I have to just reshoot that little bit so the kid dies. Because that kid fucking deserves to die. His parents are fucking sat there going, don't make any noise... Because it'll fucking bring the monster stuff. Okay. Here's a toy spaceship that can make a shit ton of noise. Well, I don't know who fucked here. Fucking the kid or the parents. Jesus Christ. It's just... What? Right, I want to look at the plot for this. Because this happens in 2020, right?
Right.
So this is the plot. And then we will tear it apart. And then we'll end. So in 2020, a near-apocalyptic Earth has been overrun by sightless, which are the weird things, extraterrestrial creatures with extremely sensitive hearing. The creatures use sound detection to hunt and kill the remaining human population. Meanwhile, the Abbott family, which is husband Lee, wife Evelyn, deaf daughter Reagan, son Marcus, and Bo, scavenge for supplies while remaining as silent as possible and communicating non-verbally through American Sign Language. Fucking Lee... this is the... Oh, it's talking about the toy shuttle. So Lee reveals... No, change that to Lee... I can't speak. Lee relieves Bo of his toy space shuttle, warning him that its noise could attract the creatures and removes the batteries. Taking pity on him... This is... Okay, so it's not the kids... It's not the parents' fault. Taking pity on him, Reagan returns the toy to Bo, who, unseen by the family, puts the batteries back inside. Later, Bo turns the toy back on and attracts one of the creatures, which slaughters him! The kid dies! Yes! Oh, yes, the kid fucking dies. And I'm sorry that I just broke the fucking audio on this shit, but the kid not only dies, but is slaughtered. So I'm going to see this movie where a kid fucking pushes a button on a toy shuttle, and then he's torn to fucking shreds, limb from limb, head flying through the fucking air and shit. This kid dies. I'm now happy. Fucking, this is great. This is great. So... Fucking cut to a year later, the family are living on their farm, and Evelyn is in the final stages of pregnancy. Right, well, you fucked.
Wait,
yeah.
So, she's pregnant.
Right.
Not only will the baby make so much fucking noise, how did they even consummate? How did they,
how did you
do the business?
I'd like to point out, it says that these sightless things have got sensitive hearing, which means a dude, kind of just going... with his wife is probably going to attract some fucking attention. So, all right, so they managed to get pregnant.
Cuff my balls for a second so they don't slap against
yeah. Just quick, take my balls to my arse so they don't slap against yours. All right, so let's have a look. So a year later, she's in the final stage of pregnancy. Lee uses salvaged radio parts to repair a cochlear implant, but the device fails to restore her hearing. What? Why is that important? The kid's already deaf.
Why does she need to hear? Yeah.
Right, so this Reagan kid is deaf, which basically means she's going to survive fucking everything because she can't speak, basically. She can't hear, so she signs everything, right? So she's fucking fine because she makes no noise. That means the weird sightless things aren't going to get her. So her dad immediately goes, do you know what? I want to give hearing back to this kid. Why? So it can hear its own voice and then watch its fucking... and then listen to its arms being torn off by these sightless things.
If they're silent, they're not even... She's got nothing to hear in the first place.
So anyway, so that doesn't work. So despite Lee's fucking repeated demonstrations of support and his insistence that Bo's death was not her fault, tensions develop between Lee and his daughter. Okay. Lee takes Marcus to a nearby river to teach him to fish. Really? Throwing a fishing line into some water to catch a fish that will fight being taken out of the water is a good idea, because that's not going to make any fucking sound. Jesus Christ, these people are idiots.
Bloop.
Yes, it's like they could, right? You can't see this. Apparently, these sightless are really fucking fast and like can creep around without you fucking hearing them and shit. So even casting the line, because the line spinning and going out and going like fucking as it goes. So that's going to attract someone. Fucking hitting the water and going bloop. Fucking that's going to attract them. And then if you get a fish on the fucking hook, it's going to be going like that. Yeah, and they're fucking pulling it out of the water. So at no point did someone go, do you know what? Maybe we shouldn't have them fish. Jesus Christ. Alright, so he takes him to the nearby room to teach him to fish. As Reagan goes off on her own to visit the grave of her once torn apart brother Bo. Okay. Oh, here we go. This might explain some of the things why they do it. Lee explains that the creatures can be distracted and therefore diverted away from the family as long as sounds from their environment make their own... mask their own... So, right, this is why in the trailer you see them walking in barefoot. Because things like rustling of trees and leaves is louder than the noise they make. So they don't walk with shoes, they walk with the bare feet. Sweet. So so maybe they might actually get away with fishing because, rustling trees might be a bit louder than, bloop and whatever. Okay, so at least they're trying to get around it. And then it says during a heart-to-heart moment, Marcus tells his father that Reagan blames herself for Paul's death and implores him to ensure Reagan knows he loves her. That's boring. Oh shit! Now it all kicks off, dude. Meanwhile, Evelyn goes into labor. So she's
How are you gonna do that?
So she's screaming and shit, and they retreat into the basement. Oh no, sorry, Anne retreats into the basement. While retreating into the basement, she steps on a protruding nail from the stairs. In agony, she accidentally drops a family portrait she held in her hand. Wait,
Why the fuck would you?
Right,
Why-
okay. Somehow, stepping on a nail. So, right, I'll give it to this woman. A, she's fucking going into labour. B, she steps on a nail and hasn't made a fucking sound, right? And then and then while stepping on this thing, she drops a portrait which she was just holding for some fucking reason, and that somehow alerts one of the creatures nearby. Okay? Evelyn warns a returning Lee and Marcus of the danger by flipping a switch that changes the house exterior lights to white, from white to red. All right, so they've got non-verbal communication. I'd like to point out, just for everybody out there, electricity makes sound. So fucking, it's not really a good idea to have lights on in your fucking house, is it? All right, so Evelyn fights the remaining silent during contractions. Oh, dude, she's like she's fucking going into. She's a tough woman. She's going into birth and she's not making a sound, and climbs back up the stairs to the bathroom while the creature hunts for her. Arriving back on the farm and seeing the red lights, Lee instructs Marcus to create a diversion. Right, so you've basically just gone, oh shit, my wife and my other whatever and the baby being born are in the house. Quick, my only other son, go make some noise to draw this creature towards you. Right, whatever. My computer is being a lousy bastard. Give it a smack. So he sends his kid off to die, basically. Oh no. Okay. He creates a diversion by setting off fireworks that also masks Evelyn's screams. Alright, so that's the clever thing. While Lee runs to find Evelyn, he finds her and their newborn son hiding in the bathroom, narrowly avoiding another attack while carrying them to the soundproof basement he has constructed for the baby.
Okay. Like,
Right.
aren't these like, extremely sensitive hearing? I don't think
Yeah,
soundproofing.
see, soundproofing doesn't actually mask all sound. So unless the soundproofing room he's created is in a fucking vacuum,
Yes.
that guy is fucked, right? So he creates whatever. Okay, so Reagan hurries back to the farm, having seen the fireworks going off. Oh, she's not even there. She's still at a fucking dead kid grave, whatever. She and Marcus take refuge in atop a grain silo, lighting a fire to alert their father to their whereabouts. Marcus falls into the silo, sinking in the corn and nearly suffocating. Fucking, we almost lost the second kid there, but Reagan jumps in and saves him. So, a kid falls into a grain silo, so I'm guessing he falls in by the roof collapsing or some shit like that, which is normally grain silos made out of metal. So, that thing has just gone clunk, right? Okay, so hasn't attracted anyone. Then a kid has fallen into a bunch of like sandy grain shit, which is going like, but a bit louder, so that doesn't attract anything. And he's probably coughing for his fucking life because he's suffocating, so that somehow hasn't attracted anything. And then the kid jumping in to save him also hasn't attracted anything, whatever. So they jump in and they avoid death by clinging to a silo door. Okay, which has fallen into the corn. Whatever. Which allows them to survive which also allows them to survive a subsequent creature attacked by hiding under it. Right, so they fall into the silo, there's a door. To save themselves from drowning, they do a fucking Titanic and sit on the door, but then a creature turns up, so they get under the door. Basically putting them in the grain again, which... Right, okay. Whatever. Reagan's, repair... Wait a minute. When did Reagan's cochlear implant get repaired? The dude said he couldn't repair it. All right, so whatever, you just fucking inventing shit now. So Reagan's repaired cochlear implant reacts to the proximity of one of the creatures by emitting a piercing, loud, high-frequency sound that drives the creature off. Lee eventually finds the children who escaped from the silo. Right, I'd like to point out, if I was in the... Just from that, I did 3 years in college of sound engineering. So I would have immediately picked up on the fact that gone, extreme sound attracts these people. All right, let's just make the fucking greatest high frequency sound, like the greatest pitch you can ever fucking think of. Because these are really sound sensitive things that basically blow the fucking heads off. At no point would I go, all right, take all your shoes off, don't play with any toy shuttles, nobody speak from now on, we're going for it. I'd get a bunch of fucking like boom boxes or sound generators and just fucking create an entire sound wave just around my house that none of those fuckers could get through without dying, right? Fucking Jesus Christ. Saved by a cochlear implant. At no point anyone realising, you know what, let's get a microphone and like an amp and just put them right next to each other and create some fucking feedback. Nobody fucking discovered that, did they? Jesus Christ. These people are the fucking stupidest people on the planet. Bats. You can do that with bats, I'd like to point out, because bats have got really good hearing as well. So if you make a really high-pitched like feedback sound next to a bat, it'll fucking fuck off and like be disoriented and shit. It's really fucking hilarious. Anyway, so we get on to, they've escaped from the silo. The creature returns and Lee attacks it with a Pulaski. What the fuck is a Pulaski? Oh, it's an axe. It's a wildland firefighting axe. Just say an axe. Okay, so he fucking chops it with an axe while Marcus and Reagan hide in a pickup truck. During the attack, Lee is wounded, and Marcus shouts, drawing the creature close to them. Lee signs to Reagan that he loves her before shouting, sacrificing himself in order to draw the creature away from the children. Oh my God! The other kid dies. Wait.
Genius.
Wait, does the other kid die? I haven't got to that bar yet. Reagan and Marcus disengage the truck brakes. Oh, yeah, no, sorry, no. The kids don't die. Lee dies. The dad dies.
Oh,
Lee's the dad.
damn.
Lee's wounded, and Marcus shouts. So the kid shouts from the back of the truck, drawing the creature to them. So Lee turns around to his kid, the deaf one, and goes, I love you, in sign language, and then sacrifices himself in order to draw the creature away from the children. So I don't know if he's actually going to die or if it's going to be a fake out or whatever. Reagan and Marcus disengage the truck brake and roll down the hill to escape, and you reunite with the grieving Evelyn and the baby back at the farmhouse. Right. Reagan not having...
What they haven't explained is, are these things only killing them, or are they like feeding off of them? Because I'm pretty sure if you...
Well, it said it tore that kid apart, didn't it? So I'm guessing they're like just killing him. Or probably eating him, I guess. Because they are extraterrestrial creatures.
Very easy and very quick to just rip Lee apart and head after that truck.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, Lee sacrifices himself. Now, does he like stab the thing and fall off a cliff? Like, it doesn't specify. Specify these things, people. So yeah, I mean, like, pull it. If you pull a handbrake on a truck, it goes, or it makes a noise. So that monster's gonna go mechanical sound, da, 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 and the truck rolling down a fucking. Apparently, it also becomes like a TV opening. It goes, da, 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 fucking whatever. The truck rolling down the hill is gonna create noise. And then applying the brakes is also going to create noise. It's an old fucking flatbed truck. It's going to have squeaky fucking brakes or whatever. Okay? So, they are now back at the farmhouse. Oh, the Rozzers are coming to get me. Fucking... Oh, no, we're giving away too much of the plot. The Rozzers are coming.
Hello, FBI man.
Yeah, so apparently, they get back to the farmhouse with the baby, whatever. Reagan, not having been allowed into the basement previously, okay, sees for the first time her father's notes on the creatures and his experimentation with several different implants, as well as radio equipment. As the creature returns to invade the basement... Alright, so the creature survived. The creature just basically rips Lee apart and comes back for him. Right. Reagan inadvertently discovers the power of the boosted cochlear implant. She places it on a nearby microphone, magnifying the feedback to ward off creatures. Painfully disoriented, the creature exposes the flesh beneath its armoured head, render itself vulnerable to a shotgun blast from Evelyn. Right, so these things are armoured, and they're like dragons. They've got like a soft underbelly or some shit like that. Alright, so she shoots it in the head. Having destroyed one creature, Evelyn and the children observe from the television monitors 2 other creatures approaching. With their newly acquired knowledge of the creature's weaknesses, they are ready to fight back. Reagan turns up the volume on the feedback, and Evelyn reloads the shotgun. That's the end.
Meanwhile, the shotgun going off, the baby's already deaf as fuck.
Well, right, yeah. So the baby, fucking with fresh newborn ears, is now deaf, and because we've just burst them with that fucking. But right, I'd like to point out that the cochlear implants are inside your. They're inside your head, right? They don't sit on the outside. That's a hearing aid. So when it says she places it on a nearby microphone. She rips out the fucking cochlear implant and sticks it on. She's like, fucking like, I'm sick and tired of these monsters. Yeah. But I'd also like, right, so she puts it on a microphone, she cranks up the volume, and it creates a high-pitched sound, right? Sound dissipates, right? As sound spreads out and goes through the air, it loses some of its vibrational energy. So by the time it's fucking, let's say, 2 miles away, any weird sightless things within 2 miles aren't going to be like, ah, shit, my ears. They're going to be like, hey, what's that really high-pitched sound that's coming from a completely different location that's masking all this other sound? Let's go and check it. So the end of this movie shouldn't really be 2 other creatures approach. It should be an entire fucking army, like the Isengard army in Lord of the Rings turns up and rips them all to shreds.
Yes.
At no point.
Final scenes. It's like just a bird's eye view of their house with all these fucking creatures around it.
That'd be at no point is anyone thinking science in this movie. I mean, they get it a little bit right with the fucking high frequency thing, basically rendering these things inert for a bit so you can beat the shit out of them. But yeah, sound dissipates. So unless you can keep this frequency going for fucking ever and you wear earplugs continuously and the zombie things get really close to you and then just like collapse from the sound, you kind of eventually enough of them are just going to get through to the point where you die or you run out of ammo, so you're fucked. God, that's a stupid movie. But hey, the fucking kid dies in it.
Gotta see it.
Gotta see it. I said if the kid dies in it, I'll go see it. And the first paragraph is Bo turns on the toy and attracts one of the creatures, which slaughters him, not which kills him. It slaughters the fucking kid. So I'm happy. The kid dies. And it might be a bit of a morbid thing to end on, but that is where we're going to end today's podcast, where we've just ripped apart a shit ton of movies. I'd like to point out my longest podcast ever, 1 hour and 5 minutes.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, fucking 1 hour and 5 minutes for fucking Jesus Christ. We tore into a lot of movies. Well,
they deserved it.
Yeah, a lot of movies deserve that shit. Jesus Christ! Like I think we put. Do you know? I might start a new series now where I just poke plot holes in things. Seriously, like fucking the plot holes in just that one movie we covered alone. Like just then, that's. I'm still going to go see it. I want to see this kid die. I might actually just turn up, watch the kid die, and then leave. Or do you know what? Because I want to see how Lee dies. Because he says he sacrificed himself. Dude's got an axe, and it's got a soft underbelly. Yeah, no, I want to see how this guy's going to die. Like, it's going to be fucking interesting.
And if they don't leave him, like if you don't see him getting ripped apart, he's alive. That's the rule.
Yeah, no, that is the rule. If you don't die on screen, you're technically alive, unless at some point in the future, like they just get back and like, Dad's dead, and it's like, how do you know? We saw his head get ripped off. All right, Dad's dead. But unless it's like the thing jumps at him and then it just cuts to the kids going, oh my God, like with a shocked face, that dude's still alive.
Yeah.
Yep. End of the movie. He comes in with an arm missing. Just like, oh, I'm back. And then he's like, oh shit, I spoke. And then he just gets trounced on by like 80 of them. I'm alive. Fuck. That'd be. So I want to see how this movie fucking ends now. I've hyped it up too much, I think. I want to see this kid die to a toy. And I wonder if they're going to do like the thing, like, because the kid's like playing with the toy and it comes at him from like the side. So it's like a fucking rugby tackle almost. I want to see if like when it slaughters him, it just like tackles him and cuts him in half. Now that
just completely ripped left and right.
Yeah, and like the toy shuttle just goes flying through the fucking air. Oh, so many possibilities. But we're gonna have to end it today because fucking 1 hour and 10-minute podcast. That's gonna be a long thing to upload. Jesus Christ! I think we've actually come up with some good points there for all those movies. What would you say is your favourite apocalypse movie? Just to end on, what would you say is your favourite apocalypse movie?
Oh, I don't actually think I could come up. I'd have to say Mad Max. I mean, I can't beat Mad Max. That's the first thing I think. Apocalypse, that comes to my mind. It's a wicked movie. I'd gotta say Mad Max.
Which one though?
Oh, the first.
The first. Oh, so when he's still a police officer and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. I'd have to go with. It's either going to be The Postman, pretty much for its ridiculous plot and also the fact that it's one of the few movies that can make me cry. So it's either The Postman or The Day the Earth Stood Still. I kind of like that movie. It's not really an apocalypse, but still, I like that. That's a good movie.
Yeah.
But I think that's a good place to end today. So, thanks for you all for coming along, especially you, Eluke Trick. Is that right? I just call you Electric. But thanks for coming along, Electric, and enjoying basically ripping into a bunch of movies for an hour. My throat is killing me. Thanks to everybody else.
It was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. Thanks to everybody else who decided to come along and listen to the podcast. If you have any plot holes you'd like to point out and somehow managed to make it through the fucking hour and 10 minutes of this video, go ahead and stick them in the comment section down below. But until then, it's goodbye from me. How about you, Electric?
I don't know. The world could end before I say goodbye.
Oh, shit, yeah, no. Oh, well, it's goodbye from Electric as well. And as always, stay awesome.